Greetings class, welcome to Duel Academy. Professor Rivas here, and this will be the third lesson of your first class in your Obelisk Blue term, Duel Puzzles, Puzzles 5 and 6. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to be up to date with the latest Duel Academy lessons and assessments. So without further ado, get your deck, get your game on, and let's get started. Here's your fifth duel puzzle. In this puzzle, you have 800 life points while your opponent has 2900 life points. You have Magician of Faith in attack mode on your side of the field, while your opponent has 3 set monsters on their side of the field. You also have a Fatal Abacus Continuous Trap on your side of the field, and a set card that's irrelevant in this puzzle, so don't worry about it. You have Tsukiyomi, Maneater Bug, Lightning Vortex, and a Book of Tayu in your hand, and Swords of Revealing Light in your graveyard. Now that we have a general idea of what's going on the field, let's come up with a strategy to win this turn. To do that, we need to analyze each card carefully, so let's do that now. Let's discuss the field more thoroughly. On our side of the field, we have Magician of Faith, level 1 light spellcaster with 300 attack and 400 defense, with a flip effect that reads, Flip. Target 1 spell card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. This effect is useful to bring back previously used spells that reside in the graveyard. I wonder if there's a useful spell in our graveyard that we can use. You also have a Fatal Abacus Continuous Trap that reads, Each time one monster is sent from the field to the graveyard, inflict 500 points of damage per card to the respective card owner's life points. This means if we can deal with the 3 set monsters your opponent has on the field, that could deal 1500 points of damage. We just have to be careful not to send our monsters from the field to the graveyard, since we're affected as well. Next, let's analyze our hand. Let's look at Tsukiyomi, a level 4 dark spellcaster with 1100 attack and 1400 defense. Its effect reads, Cannot be special summoned. If this card is normal summoned or flipped face up, target 1 face up monster on the field. Change that target to face down defense position. Once per turn, during the end phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped face up this turn, return it to the hand. This is basically a Book of Moon with stats. The next card in your hand is Maneater Bug, a level 2 earth insect monster with 450 attack and 600 defense, with a flip effect that reads, Flip. Target 1 monster on the field. Destroy it. Not a bad effect, but you won't be able to flip summon it the same turn you set it. Besides, it'll only take care of one of your opponent's set monsters. Let's try to find a way to take care of all 3. The following card is Lightning Vortex, a normal spell that reads, Discard 1 card. Destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Useful card to destroy your opponent's monsters if the monsters are face-up. The last card in your hand is Book of Tayu, a normal spell that reads, Target 1 face-down monster on the field. Change that target to face-up attack position. This would be a way to flip up your set Maneater Bug if you were to set it, but once again, it'll only take care of 1 monster. Time to look at your graveyard. You have 1 card in your graveyard, Swords of Revealing Light, a normal spell that reads, After this card's activation, it remains on the field, but you must destroy it during the end phase of your opponent's 3rd turn. When this card is activated, if your opponent controls a face-down monster, flip all monsters they control face up. When this card is face up on the field, your opponent's monster cannot declare an attack. Although the effect that keeps your opponent's monsters from attacking isn't useful, the effect to flip monsters face up may be important. I wonder if there's a way to get it from the graveyard. Now that we've analyzed the field, let's solve the puzzle. Take a moment to pause the video here and see if you can win the duel by yourself this turn. First, let's find out a way to deal with the defenses. Swinging over them doesn't seem ideal since we only have a Magician of Faith with 300 attack. Even summoning a stronger monster will only maybe deal with 1 monster, which means we need to find some type of effect that will destroy all 3 monsters. Which card do we have in our hand that can destroy our opponent's monsters? If you said Lightning Vortex, then you're correct. The only issue is Lightning Vortex requires for the monsters to be face up, meaning we'll have to flip up their monsters to use Lightning Vortex. We know that Swords of Revealing Light can flip up their monsters, but it's in the grave. How can we retrieve swords from the grave? Simple. Since Tsukiyomi has the ability to book a monster, we could summon it to book the Magician of Faith, then flip summon the Magician of Faith to add the swords from our graveyard to the hand. Let's do it. First, normal summon the Tsukiyomi. Then, book the Magician of Faith. Next, flip summon the Magician of Faith to add the swords to our hand. Now that we have Swords of Revealing Light in our hand, let's activate it and flip up our opponent's monsters. Now that the monsters are flipped face up, let's activate Lightning Vortex to pitch a card from our hand and destroy their face-up monsters, and deal 1500 life points due to Fatal Abacus. With the damage dealt by Fatal Abacus, your opponent only has 1400 life points, which means we could then attack with Magician of Faith and Tsukiyomi to deal exact lethal. Here is your 6th duel puzzle. In this puzzle, you have 200 life points while your opponent has 3000 life points. You have one set monster on the field while your opponent has a Shinatu, King of a Higher Plane, that was brought back with Call of the Haunted, a Guardian Angel Joan, and a Wing Weaver. You have Mystical Space Typhoon, Monster Reborn, Thestalos, the Firestorm Monarch, and Ancient Gear Golem in your hand. Jinzo and Blue Eyes White Dragon are in your graveyard. Now, it's time to come up with a strategy to win this turn. First, let's take a look at the field. The set monster that you have on the field is Hain, a level 2 Earth Beast Flip Effect monster with 450 attack and 500 defense. Its effect reads, Flip. Select one monster on the field and return it to its owner's hand. A good card to bounce a monster back to the hand, no matter how weak or strong. Your opponent has Shinatu, King of the Higher Plane, a level 8 light fairy monster with 3300 attack and 3000 defense. That reads, this card can only be ritual summoned with the ritual spell card Shinato's Arc. You must also tribute monsters whose total levels equal 8 or more from the field or your hand. When this card destroys a defense position monster and sends it to the graveyard, as a result of battle, inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster. Keep in mind that Shinatu was brought back with Call of the Haunted, a continuous trap that reads, activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target in attack position. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. The Guardian Angel Joan is a level 7 light fairy monster with 2800 attack and 2000 defense that reads, when this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, gain life points equal to that monster's original attack in the graveyard. Lastly, the Wing Weaver is a level 7 light fairy monster with 2750 attack and 2400 defense. As we can see, our opponent has some strong monsters. Next, let's analyze our hand. We have a Mystical Space Typhoon, a quick play spell that reads, target one spell/trap on the field, destroy that target. We also have a Monster Reborn, which is a normal spell that reads, target one monster in either graveyard, special summon it. Thestalos, the Firestorm Monarch, is a level 6 fire pyro monster with 2400 attack and 1000 defense that reads, if this card is tribute summoned, discard one random card from your opponent's hand. Then, if it was a monster card, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack times 100. Lastly, we have Ancient Gear Golem, which is a level 8 Earth Machine monster with 3000 attack and 3000 defense. It reads, cannot be special summoned. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell/trap cards until the end of the damage step. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. Next, let's discuss the graveyard. You have Jinzo, a level 6 Dark Machine monster with 2400 attack and 1500 defense that reads, trap cards and their effects on the field cannot be activated. Negate all trap effects on the field. The Blue Eyes White Dragon is a level 8 Light Dragon monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. Now that we've analyzed the field, let's solve this puzzle. Take a moment to pause the video here and see if you can win the duel by yourself this turn. Since we don't have any cards that deal with mass removal, we need to get rid of your opponent's monsters one by one. Let's start with Shinato. It's the strongest monster, but has the disadvantage of being Call of the Haunted's target. If we could destroy Call of the Haunted, we could destroy Shinato. How would we do that? If you said Mystical Space Typhoon, then you're correct. Activate MST to destroy the Call of the Haunted, which will then destroy Shinato. Next, let's deal with Guardian Angel Joan. We don't have anything strong enough to swing over it, so maybe we could remove it in some other way. Hain seems like a good option. Flip summon Hain to return Guardian Angel Joan to the hand. Next, let's deal 700 points of damage by Tribute Summon Thessalos and ripping Joan from the hand. Finally, to get rid of Wingweaver, we can use Monster Reborn to bring back Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes can swing over Wingweaver, leaving your opponent with 2050 life points. Which is low enough for Thessalos to attack for game. Thank you so much for attending this class. There will be a quiz in this lesson, so don't forget to take it. Your final exam will follow soon after. I hope you have a great day, and class dismissed.